Welcome to another. That's the wrong division. Welcome to another Nexus Gaming Series cast. I am the Lime Bus, and to those who don't know, ICC Crystal Gems is my own team. I didn't play the series, so I don't actually quite know what the score line was. So I'm very much coming into this blind, so to speak. It should be a good series. I do know people in both. Obviously, no people in least in ICC Crystal Gems. It is the team I play in, but I do know a few in Hard Stuck support group as well, and they are pretty good in terms of people skills from what I know. So we're gonna have Towers of Doom to start. Good starting point. We do see Hard Stuck support group banned out the Full Sky Foundry and Sky Temple, or ICC Crystal Gems banned out Curses Hollow and Garden of Terror. Which I do wonder if my own team is going to make me cast Infernal Shrines. I hope not. I really hope they don't make me cast Infernal Shrines, but we'll have to wait and see, because we do have Towers of Doom up now. So, on the side of... Oh, my microphone's moving up for no reason. On the side of Hard Stuck Support Group, we have Syl on the Blaze, Omar G on the Vala, Alex GX on the Lucio, Smack Loud is on the Kael'thas, and Random Engineer is on the Nubrak. On the right hand side, we do have Jakuv, or I should say, of ICC Crystal Gems, we have Jakuval on the... Jack Uval? I usually never know how to say the name, I just call him Jack. On the Leoric, we do also have Sylvana stuff coming out bottom as we have Dark Knight filling in on the Muradin. Alicia Wins is on that Sylvana, Psychopants, Tyrande, and Mockstache on the Jaina. I completely forgot what they're called. I'm like, what is that character again? Good early wave clear. We do see bomb put onto Dark Knight. Omagine has now joined the team. They are going Q build, so we'll be stacking that solely. Lucio has gone party mix, so are going to be looking at to get the extra range on their general heal or speed aura. We do also have Kael'thas going globes at one with that mana addict. I guess it's called, yeah. On the other side we do have Fingers of Frost Jaina, so also needing globes. And that is the only kind of stacking weights picked up at level 1, because we do also have Frostbite. And we do have, once again, them not being able to get the globe. They are struggling with that a little bit this game. As you see, Kael'thas is already at 4. Camp has been started by ICC Crystal Gems. And Hard Stuck Support Group is not going to invade. They're just wanting to play it a little bit safe. They're not wanting to rush things yet. Although so far, I have to say that the wave clear has been going pretty much over to ICC Crystal Gems. They are a little bit quicker. Nice hammer by Dark Knight, expecting someone to be in Zat's bush. We zoom back in, and we just can see the waves being cleared out. I also have to say, I hope everyone's had a good work week so far. I know you're nearly at the end now for a lot of you Americans. For me, I'm at Saturday already, so I'm chill. Dark Knight's actually taking a lot of damage, does have to jump out, does get the armor from their jump, and will survive. Even with people such as Lucio and Vala getting really aggressive into them. Muradin's just going to keep hitting some minions. Does get hit with a Q. They're going to be a little bit careful about that at this point. We're already seeing 6 stacks in Vala. That is a very quick stacking rate. Basically, 1 every 20 seconds is pretty good, all considering that's what. You're not always fighting. You sometimes miss. Like, it's a pretty good point, but nice dodge by Dark Knight, seeing Random Engineer walking up. Random Engineer was in a little bit of corridor. They do burrow out with that 65 spell armor, so they are ultimately going to be fine. Nice stunt onto Kael'thas. SmackDown getting very aggressive there, and nearly went down for it. Also, hi Peach, hope you're doing well today. And this tower is quickly falling, getting very aggressive into it. Dark Knight has came back around. SmackCloud held it a little bit longer, so we can see the jump onto them. Nice stun. Alicia Wins is the one on them, and that will be the Kael'thas going down just as the objective comes up. That is very unfortunate timing for the Kael'thas and the side of Hard Stuck Support Group here. Dark Knight jumps straight into Omar G's Q and takes actually a decent chunk of damage for it, but Omar G nearly went down. And we can see 2 objectives were found for ICC Crystal Gems, and only 1 for Hard Stuck Support Group, so a good start. However, this is Towers of Doom. The first objectives don't matter as much as the later ones. Because, well, it doesn't matter how many shots you do. Well, it does. You just need to get the last shots on the enemy core. It doesn't matter how much you do in the other game, it's a late game counts. We see Moxar's taking a lot of damage. They do get healed by Psychopaths, barely getting that back by the looks of things, and Mock probably kind of your lucky stars that Psycho was auto-attacking that whole time. And now we see yet another globe going over to Kael'thas. Kael'thas has been able to get a lot more of these Omar G steps up. Dark Knight, excellent stun, and good finish by Alicia there, but Bomb is spread her Psycho heal, Alicia, good. I'm like, watching this game without knowing the results from me is terrifying. Because every action I'm like, oh god. Did my team do it? I do like the invade now coming on up. We see Random Engineer very much considering going in. Not sure about it, but all 5 members are here. You don't quite want to do that. Nice stun combo onto Alicia. The spell armor keeping her up. But she does get out. Blaze is looking for a stun. Only hits. Yes, Syl is on Blaze. So Syl's in the offlane. Oh, we do see Jakuvu Bex on out. Meanwhile, the team of ICC Crystal Gems not going to be picking up their own camp, but rotating down to tap and continue bottom lane. We see Random Engineer is going to be halving, but there will be the objective coming up in the top lane. So we see ICC Crystal Gems are doing their own camp, which actually means they'll be a little bit late for this top objective, which, considering it's a double objective and people are all here already, good note, Dark Knight is here already, stopping Random Engineer from getting anywhere. So it means Jack is able to get things done. Sure, Dark Knight takes a lot of damage in the process, but they are able to keep things off. They do take a lot. They're not quite going to survive, are they? No, they do not as they go down. Jack's down the firing line, does use the unstop, takes almost all their damage and health and damage in that one little kind of escape process there, and we'll go down. We also note Valor is at 16 stacks at the 5-minute 30 mark, so very good stacking on their part so far, especially with those roll resets. Good warning pings coming out. We see the ICC Crystal Gems back off. And all while we do see more push coming out from Hard Stuck Support Group. They know they didn't have the tank back yet. Dark Knight has only just gone back now. So you really just had to quickly run up, hit that tower, and run away, and you did very well in doing that. Ooh, that was the first Q I've seen in a while that hasn't quite found its intended target. And we see Muradin does get their Stormbolt off now, so that is quest complete. But both teams have tented essentially the same time. We have Summon Water Elemental on Vegeta. Muradin went to the Avatar. Trying to just having a little think about it. I'm not quite sure yet. Otherwise we see the Wailing Arrow on Sylvanas and Entomb Leoric, because why would it never be Entomb? I know Jack does like choosing, insane, but I do know Jack likes picking March, and he's done pretty well with it from what I've seen. Right, early Cocoon, they're trying to let her out, but no, that's a little bit too late, as that is one kill already onto the Sylvanas. Leoric goes as well. That is very unfortunate timing, as we did see the Phoenix drop. We also have to note that there is Beat drop on Lucio, Bunker Blaze, Cocoon on the Anubrak, and Rain of Vengeance Vala. I think in that scenario, if you're ICC Crystal Gems, you just need to dump your damage onto... You need to dump your abilities onto the Entomb, because that was a very good Entomb. You just need to... Yeah. Dump your abilities on Entomb and then auto-attack the Cocoon, because I know it's not ideal having your healer in the Cocoon during a team fight. However, you don't really have amazing ways to break it. Alicia is probably the best bet to break it with Shadow Dagger. But in terms of the actual teamfight itself, oh, nice Entomb onto OMG. That's a lot of damage coming out. That's what I mean. Just drop stuff on top of them. However, they were very grouped for the firebomb that came out of it, and they lose one in the process. But 2 for 1 is not bad, all considering you take those. Oh. Kael'thas drops Phoenix just to pepper down the building a little bit. Psychopants did have to reset. Dark Knight, however, does have their passive, so they can heal up at any given notice if they just back out and heal. Alicia is going to be eating the wave with that arrow. Slowly, surely. There we go. Yep. One more. Yep. Right, and camps are being picked up. It will be a little bit risky for ICC Crystal Gems because there can be an invade here, especially because we see Silver's coming down, and Jack will be able to communicate that as well. Dark Knight taking a lot of damage in front line, did have to pop the Avatar. We do see that it comes out on Jaina this time. Alicia Wynn's trying its best to burn it down. They do actually get him out, and actually that was a good engage by the side of Hardstock Sport Group, but ICC Crystal Gems had a very good play around it. And bomb has been spread. Dark Knight very low, does eventually go down. Lucio auto attack finds their way, and now we see Leoric alone on front line, still forced to drop bunker. So now we have a point where Kalfist, their main AoE damage is gone, but it was trade out for Muradin, so it will be a interesting objective coming up, considering we have 2 tanks up to a bruiser.
The altars have risen. Activate them now.
I don't know if they're wanting to step in. Al does stall a little bit. LEGX a little bit annoyed by that. We see Jack, however, backing off. And the team of Hardstock Support Group are just going to be grabbing this objective. They're not going to see any commit by ICC Crystal Gems, which, fair enough, you are barely down 13s, as well as you are missing your main frontliner. Noting on the quests, we do see Kale, Fist, and Lucio's completed theirs. Jaina is still making their way up on hers, just because it has been a little bit rougher for them to step in to grab that globe. That's kind of the double-edged sword of running Jaina. You can clear waves really fast, but when you do, sometimes that globe minion is just a little bit too far away. But it's usually a hard engage now. Once again, Psycho is in the cocoon. They do get let out. Nice jump on by Dark Knight. Does stun Smack Cloud. Smack Cloud is one Jaina. There's a water elemental on top. Lucio beat drops, however, it comes out a little bit too late, but there will still be a chase on Alicia. Not quite wanting to take all that damage there. And that is a good fight for ICC Crystal Gems. And again, I'm so nervous because I don't know how the result went. I'm just like, please, team. There's so many stakes on this map for me. But I'm still just like, in my morning voice, my morning headspace, where I've just like woken up, let's say, not even an hour ago, had some toast, played an ARAM, went, yeah, let's just cast a game, why not? Nice roll by MRG, however, they cannot roll out of the second one, and that is a lot of damage onto that Entomb, and that is a good kill secure, and that is why you choose Entomb, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Knight and Psycho taking a fair amount of damage. I do have to say, I do like the Muradin with Tyrande. I know it's not your classic variant blow up, but Muradin has pretty good self-sustain of their own, and it gives Tyrande more downtime in the actual, when you're out of a team fight trying to heal people up, it gives Tyrande a lot of downtime in terms of they don't need to heal Dark Knight, as Dark Knight will be healing by their own self. I am a crunchy peanut butter type of dude. I don't really have jam with toast. I have it with pancakes if I do opt for that option. Give me some jam, give me some whipped cream, give me some berries, that's quite nice. But no, I do not have it on my toast often. Definitely more peanut butter dude. We can see random engineer looking to engage, and we're getting a very safe play from ICC Crystal Gems. They could have probably done the camp in the time it took them to hesitate. So now we're going to see the invade, and we can see Dark Knight. Random engineer steps on Dark Knight. Unfortunately, cannot quite stop a Nubrak, and no one can see it back on point. At least he's taking a lot of damage. Does go down. And that is a very unfortunate kill onto Savas. Also have to say, I don't actually know if I said hi to Vala, but hi Vala. And I hope you're also doing alright today, Koala. Hopefully that was the last of your internet issues yesterday. And now we can see a lot of sappers running into the building. It barely holds on, but LEGX and Smack Cloud is wanting to finish it off. Yeah, I'd say this is actually maybe unfortunate timing, because I believe the objectives would be called in the next like 20 seconds or so. I don't even know if that's true. I just have a feeling at this point, and I'm like, I feel like objectives is going to come up at this point. And saying that it is the morning. Oh, there it is. Objectives is up in the next 20 seconds or so. Oh, I want that. I just want a good bagel now. Yeah, fortunately I don't have to have anything gluten free. And they're deciding to opt to give the bottom altar. So they are just going to be tearing up the front gate. And I do actually like the idea of my voice dying, apparently. I do like the idea of counter-pushing a structure when there is that bottom one over to the other team. Typically you see it done top, but I do like the counter pressure. But yeah, I love smoked salmon. It is one of my favorite things to have on bagels. That actually, essentially what you had with cream cheese smoked salmon is almost my ideal bagel. I know I'm going to talk about bagels now for a little bit. But I do like also capers on top of it. Oh, also Psychopaths is in danger. Does use the Shadow Stalk to get him out of danger. We do see now it's a lot of damage, however, coming out onto the backline. That is Jaina going down. Jakuval taking a lot. Alicia wins, trying to find their way out. Manages to do so. What do you mean capers is 0 out of 10? Well, we do see Jack goes down. Dark Knight was it low for a bit as well. I was very surprised Alicia managed to find her out. They actually just wiggled their way out barely. Oh, now I'm wishing I had better breakfast and just... I'm going to stop casting just to have more food by the sound of things. Scrambled eggs sounds great. Oh, we do see random engineer is chasing down the rest of the team. I'm getting too distracted by food. Castle making eggs. Oh god. Cooking stream where I'm just like live casting it. Just shout casting what I'm doing exactly. But no, we do see the camp invade is coming up. And once again, I would like to see just the counter pressure. Obviously not at the moment because now you need to deal with sappers. But I would like to see counter pressure top because if you can get this top structure to balance out the bottom one, you do force the... What's the phrase I'm looking for? You do force the enemy team to react. You do force them to do top, to get back top, and that gives you time to get bottom. Also, we do see that Jaina goes down. That is very unfortunate timing once again. And these fights, these fights for the sort of ICC Crystal Gems has always just been one person gets picked in this late game. It's just one other person getting picked. And that is unfortunate because we have seen about 2 or 3 objectives in a row going over to the side of Hardstuck support group just because 1 or 2 people are going down in a very quick engage. But that is the benefit of an Ubrak. An Ubrak is very good at it. Yeah, KT is also doing interesting choices here, but they are doing it. See, this is what I wanted done like 2-3 levels ago. Just push into this. Now coming from the top, we do now see vision on the full enemy team. Interesting though, people think I'm interesting enough at cooking to do that. I will make some interesting choices and people actually look at me like I'm crazy. Also, I don't have the camera to cook, which is very unfortunate. We do now see that there is going to be the pressure coming out mid. Unstop pop by Jack, and that is a lot of damage. Mock is there, however gets stunned, so they're not able to drop the actual... Lost the phrase I'm looking for. We're not actually able to drop the Blizzard on top of the Entomb itself. However, we do see that it is a tank traded for the Leoric. Kalfist goes down as Alicia getting very aggressive in that baseline. So we do have a 2 for 2 still. 3 for 2 make that as Kalfist. Vala was chasing Tirana all the way under. Now we can see that as Dark Knight getting stunned, does jump over wall. LEGX will be taking a lot of damage in their process. However, Alicia knows they have to leave the fight alone. Where am I from? I am from and have lived in my whole life in New Zealand. I have never left the place in terms of living. It has been considered 1 or 2 times, but it was not. I have not had the opportunity to move at this present point in time. Also, we'll note that it is the last objective phase. We only have... Oh, well, Leoric is up. Leoric and the Sylvanas are up. Syl is already channeling. Jack needs to book it there. But my throat is dying. But they are not getting there in time. That is the first map of series going over to the side of the Heartstuck support group. GG's to both teams. And let me change it on over to game summary screen and have a quick drink. Look, every time I actually click, I forgot to do it. Every time I click the control shift, oh, it brings up something else, and it's not ideal for me. But otherwise, It was a good series from both teams. It was a good start from also hi Hector and interesting Koala. New Zealand is a little bit bigger than expected. There's a little few islands, but I did find button, but sometimes I forget it. I'm not used to pressing it. Essentially, is what it boils down to. So, in terms of talents, we do see Vala very stacked 48 by the end of the game. 39 gems on Kalphus. Unfortunately, Jaina was unable to complete theirs. They didn't have a means to. I have water. I had tea this morning. I have water now. Tea is for the morning and when I go out to see some of my friends. Because I'm not a coffee drinker. I personally despise coffee. But in terms of the talents are picked up, everything more or less makes sense. I am interested in the Shadow Stalk. I do see a lot of Tyrannas these days going Starfall instead, because that does a fair amount in team fights and can give a lot of healing, especially in these group team fights where you do have an Entomb per se, where you can drop that on top of it. And then we'll have a look at stats. Good hero damage by Vala, absolutely doing well there. Sylvanas next size at 40. Oh, actually, Kalphus, then Sylvanas in about order. We do see Leoric and Blaze doing very similar amount of siege and soak, just a K between the two in both, or 10k, 6k for the siege, okay, between the soak. That healing, Lucio did pump it out. Psychopaths did their best. Tyrande known to be a little bit harder in terms of the healing department. Right. And let's go back over to map view screen, shall we? And let's find out if my own team has betrayed my trust and chosen to go to Infernal Shrines. I hope not. I hope my own team hasn't betrayed my trust. They haven't, which is good. I don't know if they map picked or not, but we do have Tomb of the Spider Queen coming up, so we're liking these TO maps today. So, Hearthstone Support Group won that one. We are opening things up now, so we'll be in there in a few moments. I also hope your day's gone well, Koala, Hector, and Peach. Because I don't know if I asked you, but I do usually hope everyone has a good day and has a good time in general. But let me change it on over to the, oh gosh, I'm going in-game screen, and we'll see where we go. I think there is some credence to call the offlane the carry, but I'll explain that in a little bit because I do need to do an intro. So we have Jakuval on the Urel. I'm not used to seeing Urel. I really had to think about that. Alicia Wins is back on the Sylvanas, Moxash back on the Jaina, Psychopaths on the Rhaegar this time, and Dark Knight on the Stitches. Okay, we do also see Syl on the Leoric. Up top, SmackCloud on the Kalphus, Alex GX on the Lucio, Omar G is on the Tessida, and Random Engineer rounding things out on the Joanna. Now we can see make our way up, and Mock takes a little bit. Space Goat is correct. Leo is a good hero on this map. I don't know how well Leoric does into Urel is probably one of the main things. What? And it's Lime Hector. We've been over this. I wouldn't say I'm prejudiced towards anyone particular. Oh yeah, correct, their name and not mine. But we do see Dark Knight is going to be backpedaling. Nice hook onto Random Engineer. There's this Purge onto them as well by Psychopaths. The good use of a Purge, however, Iron Skin means they're getting out. Look. Any reason to play more HOTS is ideal, to say the least. Look, I said I don't like coffee. I never said that I don't like anyone who does like coffee. Thank you, Venus, for sharing 69 bits. I feel like I'm going to get... Look, it's fine, Hector. Oh, it's not fun. I do prefer when people do get it right. But, I know some people, it's a teething issue, so to speak. It is a force of habit that needs to be broken. But, thank you, Venus. I hope you're doing well today, well. And look, I understand coffee is good. I understand people like coffee a lot. It's just not for me. Random Engineer has come bottom to cover for Leoric while they're doing their own camp. I don't know how I feel about that statement, Bella. I do not know how I feel about that statement. But we do see camp picked up. We do see Bruce camp being started by Psycho and Alicia wins. Leoric, however, already on their way bottom. And I will make a note of that winner, so that will probably be the next one then before I forget. So we will have another cast coming up after this. And as I said, there will be a few casts today. And apparently the next one is going to be CM Daybreak facing off against Roll 1. Also, I will go back to this. We do have a camps clashing. Actually, albeit it's relatively good timing for the camp of ICC Crystal Gems to come out, as it was actually able to be safe behind the gates while the actual camp of Hardstuck support group didn't get too much value of its own. Dark Knight is looking for a hook. Okay, people are talking about coffee now. What is Viet's coffee? Oh, we see damage coming out. That is Alicia in trouble. They do get hit by the Kael'thas combo, but do not go down. Dark Knight is looking to go fishing, but no hook target even remotely available. They do have 11 gems, probably thing to note. Both teams probably pretty equal to the other side. And we also see Cladamizer's Framebro stream. Okay, I'll also do that one, I suppose. I think I'd already grabbed another one, I don't know. But I will be doing both of those in this stream, so I'll probably do those in order of replay cast. So CM Daybreak and then CM. Nice pull onto Random Engineer. Random Engineer is in trouble to get slapped a couple times by Dark Knight. Does get pushed back into Alicia Win, so the bomb is spread to them. Good timing of a boot by Alex GX. Which I'm thinking, Alex is liking this Lucy or not. Oh my gosh, you so... Wonderful. No, Random Engineer is turning in. Both teams do in fact have that turn in. Oh, okay, that's interesting. No, I have time to do both. I have time to do both. Don't worry. I don't have a cap on it. I really should put like a time cap on it, but well, oldest first. Dark Knight is considering going in. It's going to get a little bit of slap action going down. Does see Random Engineer in trouble. Psychopants bites in. Hook comes out. Unfortunately, Fishing Hook not available as of yet. That is a level 13. It's just going to happen type of deal. But no, it wasn't here. Psychopants keeping an eye on things. Keeping vision for the team of ICC Crystal Gems. Which we can see Jack and Sil has large proportion of their turn, and Sil is trying to finish things off. I should look here. Jack does not get there in time. Unfortunately for Urel, one thing they're missing is a good range button to stop things going down. Koala, yes. VMV Peach is CM's. Cloud and Mines is Peach. We do now see Dark Knight clearing up the rest of that wave. It will be the blue Web Weaver phase. So, Hardstuck Support Group will have that early-ish advantage, depending on how much they get here, which, considering how they've been doing even without him, they may do a decent amount. Dark Knight getting hit by Omar G's little beam, which, speaking of which, I haven't actually looked at talents, because we do see the static discharge on the Q quest picked up. We do see Lucio's finished off their party mix. Kael'thas at 11 globes of Mana Addicts. We can actually see that Jaina is faring better this year on their globe quest, as they do have their Fingers of Frost at 12 already. So pretty much equal to Kael'thas, their step and step. Alicia did have to back up. We do see the heal coming up from Psychopants. Dark Knight taking a lot of damage. See if there is a building ping going this. Come on. Attack and defend, I don't know. We do see now mid will be rotated on. Still looking to see if they can help out the team. Nice stun. Oh, Queen's coming out from the Psychopants. Mockstar's trying to go around the corner but cannot. That wall from Tassadar very well placed, and that's very unfortunate death for the Jaina. However, we do still see that ICC Crystal Gems is their turn. I don't know, however, if everyone needs to be here. Dark Knight at least could be getting the soak. That is going to be dropping mid, which we can see him going to go get. And 10s are now through for both sides, as I will pull up the talents. Because we do see that it is cooldown Phoenix, that's just alright. Summon Phoenix. Oh, it's just called Phoenix. Once again, we just see the drop Lucio. In turn picked up by Leoric. Blessed Shield. Oh, no hook found, but is a good place to throw that. To see if you can get a catch on the line. But as I said, we do see Blessed Shield on Joanna and the Black Hole Tassadar. Oh, and I actually still need to do Summon Water Elemental Jaina, Gorge on the Stitches, Ancestral Healing Rhaegar, Ardent Defender on the Urel, Space Goats, and Wailing Arrow once again, Sylvanas, which do like Wailing Arrow. Random Engineer is looking for a shield. They're just chilling. Nice idea to hook by his Dark Knight. However, Random Engineer literally left the bush right as that went down, which I don't know if that was planned, but it's very fortunate timing for the Joanna just to happen to step out of that very moment. Going to be continuing clearing the wave. We do see people backing on up. Yes, there have been hammer games, and I believe I have casted some. I just can't remember what teams were the Sergeant Hammers, sorry. Also, this is a large team fight coming out. We see Ancestral coming out to Mockstash, not quite one that's needed, but I don't think it would have gone off on Sylvanas in that moment anyway. I think it would have been a little bit late if it was pushed onto Sylvanas. So it is fair enough to keep the other healer alive if you're thinking the damage healer alive if you think one is going to go down either way. Nice pull by Dark Knight there, feverishly defending. They've had Turn-In for a while, and we see Turn-In now is actually available for the side of Hardstuck support group, so they're going to be chaining their Turn-In. They're going to be a little bit short. Random Engineer and ORG do need to Turn-In as well, but we're going to see if they can kill Syl. That's a little bit of a harder one to kill in itself. Jack is the one in danger now, does still have Arm Defender up. We can see Alicia wins, does teleport out. I didn't know that Dark Knight also went for the ally hook onto the Sylvanas that wasn't the Entomb. It wasn't needed in the end because Sylvanas did have escape, but Dark Knight did use that peel hook, that friend hook there. Nice Gorge onto Lucio, Blessed Shield coming out immediately. We see Random Engineer as the one tanking it. Dark Knight is in a spot of bothers. 31 gems they have that do disappear. Alicia does pick up most of them, and Mock picks up the rest. But yeah, just to answer you, Peach, there has definitely been Sergeant Hammer games this season. And that is going to be a couple of forwards picked up by the side of Hardstuck support group this game. Wow, that's a dumb sentence. Of course it's going to happen. This Web Weaver phase so far. And we now are in a very precarious spot for ICC Crystal Gems because it is often considered 2 Web Weavers in a row is very snowbally. That is getting into a position where you can win if you get 3 in a row is like a win, but 2 in a row is very good in itself because we can see it has opened up the map entirely. Dark Knight stuck in the Entomb, trying to get out of here, but still has them wedged in a corner. Nice Wailing Arrow. Still barely holds on. Thank you to LXGX. We see Random Engineer forced back out. Mockstar's taking a beam to the face. Hook barely missing the target. But we do see him as extended hook, and now so Stitches is going to be much more of a threat. OMRG just trying to escape. Does a little wiggle. Going, please don't hook me. The little butt wiggle of don't hook me, please. God, that is such a funny looking ability. Just seeing Urel just run. I would have liked to see Urel turn in bottom, considering I don't think anyone would go. Typically, bottom one is less watched than the top one is for things I've noticed in casting NGS. Interesting, we see Under Pressure. It's not often you see that Stitches. Stitches actually isn't leaning into that hook build there. Hook moving into kind of a trait slam build, which is very interesting. May work out. Nice jump by Jack, meaning they are going to be dodging any potential Entomb. So we're going to potential Entomb. Dark Knight does get pulled out of it. Jump coming in from Jack. That's the York taking a lot of damage. Here comes Black Hole. 3 members found with it. That's Blessed Shield coming out after, and that's both the damage dealers down for the side of ICC Crystal Gems. And Hardstuck support group are not relenting, however, as Psychopants and Dark Knight getting relatively low on themselves. Smart move from Psychopants, jumping bottom, but still does have the extended move range. That is, however, the Stitches going down mid, but Jack and Psychopants both hold on. So the team still has Turn-In. They are just still in a spot where they need to somehow get to a point where Turn-In is a viable choice, which we need to press out waves. We need to... You need to, sorry. I know I'm saying we, but because it's my team. My team that I'm a sub for. Because I live in New Zealand and I don't ever get the chance to play. Anyway, back to the actual action. We do see camp being picked up. There is the ping there telling that, yep, they're there. Let's watch out. Let's not go in there. And honestly, if you're just the side of... No, Jack. If you have a side of... Oh, Phoenix drop. ICC Crystal Gems, you may just need to drop a Web Weaver phase just to counter push at this point, because you have so much pressure constantly coming in that it's very difficult for you to keep up. You also see that Leoric, I overshot it massively. Leoric and Jack are fighting mid, well, over bottom objective. Jack now in trouble, seeing Velucio going, maybe this is time for me to leave. Jump used already, we now see they're in trouble. There comes the Ardent Defender. They're going to need to get to this area here, that is their safe zone. Red Weavers did go top, but that is 49 gems down. That is a crushing blow to the gem count of Hard Stucks up to ICC Crystal Gems. We see Savannah's down next, Mox is going down after that, and that may just be an end call. I wouldn't hate an end call here from Hard Stuck support group. But I know you have a Web Weavers happening, but just go Corp. Interesting that they're not. They're more concerned about defending in this instance. I do wonder if that is a misplay from Hard Stuck support group. They probably did have the damage to get for a decent chunk of core at least. I don't know if they had exactly enough time, but they did have enough time to at least get a good 30 to 60% off, I imagine. But that Web Weaver phase is down already. Web Weavers are now available for the side of Hard Stuck support group, so we are getting it's very close into a checkmate position for ICC Crystal Gems. They need to watch the objectives. You see Psychopaths runs in first. That is not the person you need first. Dark Knight goes for a hook, finds random engineer. That is a healer down, and that is a rough spot to be in. It looks like Mock is next one on the line. They do get hit with Blessed Shield. They do get pushed back in. That's them taking a lot of damage. They do manage to dodge the beam. However, they can't dodge the follow-up. And that is a, oh no, for ICC Crystal Gems. Because now you're missing a pretty good Zerg. Wow, that's not even remotely right. You're missing a good boss clearer if they do choose to do that. You're missing a good clearer of the Web Weavers if they decide to do that. We can see Lucio turning in, getting the 8 in first, just to prep things. And now we see it is the Leoric rotating down to do it as well. So this boss will be picked up roughly the same time the Web Weavers will be coming through, considering how it's done. The side of ICC Crystal Gems now know it is being done by the side of Hard Stuck support group, but they are yet 16s. It's not quite a hook you're wanting this time, and that we see Dark Knight starting to back out. Still looking for Psychopaths, does get the Entomb onto them. Psychopaths ancestring themselves, getting themselves up. And that is, however, is the bulk of the damage coming a little bit later. Nice Wailing Arrow hitting all 5. However, just a little bit late on that front to keep their teammate alive. Dark Knight running away with the Chaos Fist, does drop him out. However, Black Hole and Blessed Shield peeling like their life depends. Dark Knight getting relatively low, does eventually go down. Leoric finding the kill there, as they are that creepy, that Ghost Walk build, which does a decent amount of burst damage actually with the Q after Wraith Walk. Now we can see we're in the end game essentially. Wait, I don't know how the side of ICC Crystal Gems survived this, as I keep pushing the wrong button. And I actually forgot to do that again. I need to get in the habit of just doing it even if it's this late in the game. But we can now see that it is quickly going to be the core falling. And that looks like it will be the game. And the series going over the side of Hard Stuck Support Group. GG, well played. Let me go on over to the game summary screen, shall I? So, in terms of talents, interesting Stitches build is probably the most thing to note. You typically see kind of hook talents picked up a little bit more because it can give a lot of self-sustain, but I do like this build either way. Interesting. You would have? Okay. I know it's knowing Hard Stuck Support Group has actually done very well this season. They're looking pretty formidable. They have taken games from a lot of teams so far. There you go. Ektar has actual numbers that they can give, and I'm just talking, going, I think I've seen one or two. That we do see everything's relatively standard across the build. I do really like Righteous Momentum. When I play Urel, I feel like it's the only talent I can use at level 7 because I'm just really bad at Urel. So I don't use Urel often. But everything else is very standard. Interesting to see Party Mix on Lucio. It's probably one of the lesser picked heal talents in NGS for Lucio. Level 1 talents for Lucio in NGS. But it does still do pretty well for LXGX. And looking at stats, we do see Tessida, most siege and hero damage. Savannah's trying to keep up, but that was just a little bit too much AoE coming in. But that was a good game by Hard Stuck Support Group. That was very commanding of them. That was a good map for them. And ICC Crystal Gems were trying to keep up, but just did struggle a little. So that is going to be it for me for the first series. I am going to take a quick break while I set up the next map, which will be CMD versus Cloud of Mind's Daybreak facing off against Roll 1 Esports. So what I'll do is I'll put myself onto mute. Yeah, Hammer is definitely sustained. Just she has a big range of auto attack damage. So I'm going to be putting myself onto mute. I'm going to be quickly filling my water bottle, doing a few things, but I'll be back once I think we'll have everything rolling, and I will also run ad break just to pad out the time for me to get ready. So I'll be back soon. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll catch you on the other side of things.